Imagine that you're on the streets and you need a telephone. There are a lot of people around you and you need to ask them for a telephone, or you need to ask them for information as to where you can find a telephone. You see a man standing next to you and you want to address him, but how did you do that in Spanish? How do you say something like excuse me? This is how you say excuse me in Spanish. Pay close attention. Disculpe. Disculpe. Repeat after me. P. Culpe. Culpe. Disculpe. Disculpe. So, how do you say excuse me in Spanish? Disculpe. If you say that to a person, you're going to call that person's attention immediately. It's exactly the same thing as excuse me. So you go near that man, you want to draw his attention, so what are you going to say? Disculpe, exactly. So I think it's a good idea to be able to ask this person whether or not he speaks English. So this is how you say English in Spanish. Inglés. Inglés. Glés. Glés. Inglés. So, how do you say English in Spanish? Inglés. And how do you say excuse me in Spanish? Disculpe. And you remember how to say telephone in Spanish? Teléfono. So you approach this man and you want to address him. Say excuse me. Disculpe. Excellent. Now you're talking to this man and you want to ask him if he speaks English. This is how you say you speak in Spanish. Habla. Habla. Bla. Bla. Habla. Habla. So, how do you say you speak in Spanish? Habla. And how do you say English in Spanish? Inglés. Now you want to ask this man, do you speak English? In Spanish, the only thing that you need to do to turn a sentence into a question is to raise the interrogation tone at the end of the sentence. The interrogation tone is exactly the same that the one we use in English, like, are you sure? That tone. So, to say, do you speak English, you just have to say, you speak plus English plus interrogation tone. So how would you say, do you speak English? Remember, you speak plus English plus interrogation tone. ¿Habla inglés? Excellent. Now, let's repeat the scene. You get near to this man and you want to address him. Say, excuse me. Disculpe. Now ask him, do you speak English? ¿Habla inglés? The most probable thing that he's going to answer is no, because almost nobody of the entire population actually speaks English. This is how you say no in Spanish. No. No. Really similar than the English version, however there's a small difference. In the English version, you say no with a little U sound at the end. In Spanish you don't have that, it's just no. No. You don't add a U sound at the end, you don't say no, just no. No. And he's going to answer, I don't speak English. This is how you say I speak. Hablo. Hablo. Blo. Hablo. So how do you say I speak in Spanish? Hablo. Do you remember how to say you speak in Spanish? Habla. So, I speak is hablo, you speak is habla. Practice the contrast between these two. Hablo, I speak, habla, you speak. I speak is hablo, you speak is habla. Excellent. Now try to say I speak English. Hablo inglés. Now ask, do you speak English? ¿Habla inglés? And he's going to answer, I don't speak English. In Spanish, the only thing you need to do to negate a sentence is to say no at the beginning of the sentence. So to say, I don't speak English, you just say, I speak English plus the no at the beginning of the sentence. So it would be no plus I speak English. So how would you say I don't speak English? Remember, just no plus I speak English. No hablo inglés. Excellent. So let's make a final quick recap and let's start all over again. So you approach this man and you need to draw his attention. What would you say? Disculpe. Now you have his attention. Ask him if he speaks English. ¿Habla inglés? And he's going to say, I don't speak English. No hablo inglés. So we're going to end here with to be continued, okay? With continuará. This is the end of the lesson. The next episode will pick up where this one left off in our quest of finding a telephone. But now just relax and let your brain internalize the words that you just learned. I would recommend you to do the next lesson tomorrow or maybe later in the day. Don't let a lot of time pass between one lesson to the next because you may start to forget the material, so always try to be constant, but don't worry, don't try to make a lot of lessons in one day because you might be overwhelmed. So that will be all for today. See you tomorrow, take care, and thanks a lot for watching.